America has 5% of the world's population, and 1% of its own population is behind bars. The land of the free has more prisoners than any society in all of human history. An oppressive and faceless they has been keeping minorities in the perpetual poverty cycle. However, certain entities have shown their face. Dick Cheney and the Vanguard Group, for example, have privatized prisons and made money off inmates. Institutional monuments and obstacles subordinate mainstream society to a status quo. They say anything outside the rules is a disease to culture.
The real disease is this apathy of thinking, well, you know what, I'm just going to play along, and I won't get caught in there. Like I mentioned before, this is like a casino where you go in there knowing the house is going to win, the status quo as it is going to win, but maybe if I play my cards right, I'll get a crumb, and I'll be one of the people held up as an example of how the status quo works. Otherwise, you might end up as an example of what happens if you go against the status quo, if you argue against your boss, if you argue you should be able to dress how you want to. None of those things are negotiable. You can see stand-up comedy, etc., talking about, man, don't you hate it how you have to do such and such, and people laugh. They're venting at the fact they know it's not that you have to, it's that if you don't, you'll end up sitting on a street.
These institutional barriers are everywhere. Minorities who find their way into trouble get very little help to get out. The laws aren't helping either. This article shows how blacks have gotten up to 60% more jail time than whites for the exact same crimes with very, very similar circumstances. Many crimes have harsh minimum sentence lengths, which keep going up. The city of Chicago recently increased minimum jail time for gun possession. For people living in these red states, it means that their third offense, no matter how trivial, will set them back a long time.
In most member states, policies on the provision of basic and vocational skills in prison already exists, but there is a need to provide better solutions for their implementation, starting not just at the time of release, but immediately from the prisoner's arrest, right the way through the period of imprisonment. But in the midst of a financial crisis, is this really the time to invest more money into helping ex-prisoners? Jonathan Lucas from the UN's Interregional Crime and Justice Research Institute says that we would not be wasting money, it would just be better spent.
Already there's a lot of money going in, because what is happening is that you have people going out and coming back in prison. They are re-offending, which is in fact which is also a cost to society. Because what I think this panel is trying to come up with is a proposal that we should really focus on social rehabilitation, social reintegration from the very start. That is in fact the whole objective of it. You have to follow a person, because that person is going back to society. One too often forgets this.
As you can see, this problem is not exclusive to the US, though it seems we are furthest from solving it. Progress has been made, however, in California. The controversial rehabilitation process takes inmates out of their cells and teaches them a useful work skill, fighting fires. Not all inmates qualify to take part in the selective process, but it is a step in the right direction for this country. This is what you call the neo-slave trade. The system and they have found new ways to exploit minorities and make sure that crime always pays.
The footage you're about to see was recorded with a hidden camera at Highline Hatchery in Iowa, the world's largest hatchery for egg-laying breed chicks. For 2 weeks, a Mercy for Animals investigator covertly documented the systemic cruelty chicks at this hatchery are subjected to. These workers, called sexers, roughly separate the male chicks from the females. These male chicks are worthless to the industry because they will not lay eggs and will not grow large or fast enough to be raised profitably for meat. These male chicks are killed by being dropped into a grinding machine while still alive. Such killing methods are standard within the industry. Dropped into a grinding machine while still alive. These males are killed. Such killing methods are standard within the industry. These males are killed. These males are dropped into a grinding machine while still alive. Such killing methods are standard within the industry.